So we have to find an analogy in our society that says what is expected of everyone who does the same thing, and it is driving a car. Society expects that anyone who drives a car, no matter what age they learn, no matter who they are, what their background is expected to learn the exact same set of skills and sit behind the wheel of the car and perfect them. Practice doesn't make them perfect, they have to perfect them. And they have to integrate a series of very complex skills. When you go, next time you get behind the wheel of the car, think about how complex it is to be driving with other vehicles going down the road at 60 kilometers, 100 kilometers, less than a meter away from you, and paying attention to a stoplight, pedestrians, other vehicles, road conditions, how you're applying your foot to the pedal, the thing, the turning, the mirrors. This is very complex, and it requires you to do it every single moment of that activity, that journey you take. And childbirth is the same thing. Your pregnancy is going to transform into a birthing experience. It's a journey. It has a transformative period, whether it's on the way to the hospital for cesarean or into labor, and it comes out the other end. You move from becoming a parent to being a parent through this gateway experience. That is an activity. Unless you're unconscious, you can do that activity with skills. So we have to ask, if we have a skills-based approach to pregnancy and childbirth, what are the human skills that all of us must be able to learn? And one is breathing. And though breathing is complicated, we had to, in our resource, figure out what is human, not what is techniques. So breathing, relaxation, those two things are skills families must use. You must be able to see them use it. But in order to use those, they must have learned it, and they need to have prepared their pregnant body to become a birthing body. Because until recently, every woman had to open up her body to let a big object out about it. So we need to make certain that the skills people learn or self-learn and use comes first from a preparation period in pregnancy to acknowledge this incredible activity that they're going to do, and how can they work with their baby's efforts to be born. That's what we have to do as a woman becoming a mother, a father becoming a father, or other.
We've based a lot of our care based on choice. How far do you take it? You know, what we didn't expect was that when we were talking about choice and natural birth, that everyone would choose epidurals and Cesareans even.
If there's a belief that by opening up choice, that a huge number of people are going to run into non-medical births, I think you really need to understand that that's not who you're working with the general population. And, you know, and I know it can be very disappointing to feel that way. People used to say to me, how can you get people to learn skills to give birth if they won't stop smoking, or stop drinking, or eat better, or get more exercise? And it was very simple. The families told me why. Those things are lifestyle choices. And to prepare for a one day that's happening a few months away, they could do that. It wasn't a problem for them. And what we saw was that people really basically are comfortable with modern maternity care. It is a small, very select group of people that are home birthers, very small select group of midwives who are home birth midwives, that most people really want the modern maternity system. They may not like all the components of it, but they really consider themselves to be modern people, partly. And unfortunately, the modern midwifery movement, the natural birth movement, had a lot of investiture of having women birth. And that's very difficult to change. That's why we had so much success working with doctors, because they basically said, it's fine, just go for it. We just want to do our assessments, you know. And if the woman really looks skilled, and the father is really helping everybody relax. No matter how medical it was, everybody relaxed. And the woman and the father was comfortable with the assessments and the monitor. They didn't always like it, but they worked around it. So there wasn't this antagonistic approach that's been happening. I don't think the midwifery profession has had enemies to it. I just think that it's cared. And it's cared for everyone. And you guys then became the providers for your general population. And that is where it became more complicated, is not understanding that the general population basically is perfectly comfortable with taking a ibuprofen for headache, is perfectly comfortable with giving their children immunization and taking antibiotics. So if we can grow a skills-based approach to pregnancy and childbirth, then we can explain that by using the analogy of driving a car. So we can help people understand it's just an activity. It's an activity. All it is, it's just an activity. And by having them do something, activity, down at the most bottom rung of it, it's filling your time. Really, it's filling your time. You know, if you're doing nothing else, what are you doing? You know, you are going to breathe, so why not have a good breathing skill that you can use and that your partner can help you use? Before we go on, I want to just explain, and you know, sometimes we stay in the present a lot and forget sometimes where we came from. The modern maternity system that we know now, the scientific model of maternity care, actually didn't start to handle problems. That's not where it started. It actually started as a pain reduction system. And why? Because the message that came through women who moved out of the old ways into the modern ways is that women suffered in childbirth. You know that. But suffering didn't mean that they had a problem or that their baby died. It meant they couldn't cope with the pain. Right? So modern maternity care actually came as pain reduction. You know, whether it's ether, scopolamine, chloroform, you know, pethidine, demerol, epidurals. So part of the issue is pain. And the reality is that we are human beings. It's the only thing we share in common. Because we could be a man, but men blink, they cough, they can tighten up their rectum. Okay? So a skills-based approach to pregnancy and childbirth must come from our humanity, the commonality of our humanity. And everything else on top of that must be choice. But if we do not have a commonality of our humanity to get our baby out of our body, then we are missing what we really are, which are human beings. And we want to rise that up in New Zealand as part of our society.
But back in 2000, it was round about then that I did my standards review and went, I'm tired. I'm tired of all these Caesars, these forceps, these inductions, these long births, and all those epidurals. And it was one of those crossroads where I thought, right, if I stay in this profession, then something's got to change because I can't practice like this. And I used to do, you know, lots of talking about normal birth and all those, you know, other things that you know, to help women get through birth. Still, they weren't looking like they were coping. You know, some were, of course, but only a small percentage. At that point, you know, I thought this is part of the dilemma of what to do.